And for more on this, we have DD India correspondent Akhilesh Suman joining us. Well, Akhilesh, how significant is the 2.26 billion pounds loan agreement between the UK and Ukraine, and what impact do you think it will have on Ukraine's ongoing efforts in its conflict with Russia?
This is a very symbolic gesture from the side of Britain, because the way, Mr. Zelenskyy was treated in Washington, D.C., and the whole visuals the world has seen. And in a way, it is also a hint that U.S. is not going to help Ukraine the way it was doing earlier. So Britain has, extended its help. But that is not enough. The way Ukraine is in fight with Russia, this type of loans are not going to help too much, because U.S. has been helping Ukraine in the way it is one of the largest scale in the weaponry, in the money, everything. So that is why that you have seen that today there is a summit of European leaders, and Canada's Prime Minister is also coming in that, and 14 leaders of Europe are participating in that. So I think they also want to give some hint to President Trump that yes, Europe is behind Ukraine's cause. Europe is behind Ukraine's President Zelenskyy, and there is a need to create a rapprochement between the U.S., Ukraine, and European Union. And that is why Italian Prime Minister has suggested that there should be a summit meeting between European Union and also U.S. on the issue of Ukraine. So I think things are going in a very churning stage. Every party, every stakeholder is trying to find a situation when peace in Ukraine should be established, but also there should be a message to Russia also that yes, Europe is behind it. The way, in Washington, D.C., there was a feeling that, U.S. and Zelenskyy, U.S. and Ukraine are not on the same page. So I think this is going to be a very unique development in London today. And also you have seen that, there is also suggestion that, Europe and Russia should also talk on this issue of Ukraine. So they are not giving to leave it only on U.S., they also want to talk to Russian President Putin, so that you can have direct link with the related parties. So it is very interesting situation today, and we will see that what happens. And in between, some reports have come that on March 6th, next week, Zelenskyy may be having a summit meeting with the European Union, and they can talk together on what should be the way forward. So I think it is going to be very important meeting that day,
Right, indeed, much needs to be seen out there. Akhilesh, also Zelenskyy's warm reception in the UK contrast with his tense meeting with President Trump the day before, as you mentioned. How do you think these different receptions reflect the state of international support for Ukraine in its war with Russia?
This is always an issue that every party, everyone in the international stage, they want peace in Ukraine. They want that the whole economic situation that is gripping the world because of Russia-Ukraine conflict should be avoided. And that is why there was a suggestion from President Trump that you should negotiate. President Trump sent his envoy in Riyadh, and Russian and American envoys talk together. And then he also sent his envoy in Ukraine and General Kellogg, and he talked to his counterpart in Ukraine. So I think these things were going on. But, that in sometimes it happens in diplomacy that you go above board. And I think this has happened in Washington, D.C., that President Zelenskyy and President Trump could not, maintain the decorum that is well accepted in, diplomatic arena, that you have to negotiate behind the curtain, and you have to talk something good in front of the camera, in front of the world. So this protocol was not maintained, and that is creating chaos in the whole world, that what will happen. But in between, there is a silver lining from US that President Trump has said that if you want peace, we can talk again. So the doors are not closed. All parties are trying to, will their own pressure over Mr. Trump, and also I think this will be a good lesson for Mr. Zelenskyy also, that decorum should be maintained. So I think in coming days both parties will come together, and in between, if European Union can talk to Russian president, that will be icing on the cake. That yes, there is talk from all sides, because
All right.
2 months earlier no one was talking to Russia. So I think this is a good initiative that everyone will talk, and everyone is willing to talk to President Putin now.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you so much, Akhilesh, for all those insights.